Hello everyone, this is me, Atari HMB, and today's video is going to be about One Piece. And yes, in this installment, I'm going to be talking about why I believe Gear 5 might actually be planetary. That's right. I know a lot of people are immediately going to think this guy is a nut job, but trust and believe, I believe One Piece has more than enough evidence to support this claim. So without further ado, let's begin, shall we? So to begin, let's start off with the bare bones basics. And the reason I'm going to start off with this is we're going to go back to Thriller Bark. That's right. If you head all the way back, remember Enel? Yeah, he was pretty strong, wasn't he? We usually would say maybe island level, but what if I told you there was a hidden chapter that Ichiro Oda put, where he lands on the moon and fights space pirates? That's right, space pirates that he absolutely dog washes, but that's not the point. The point isn't about him dog washing, but this explosion. Yeah, an explosion caused by other space pirates that gets him angry. And these hidden chapters, it's quite interesting because it actually shows us a lot going on in the background. And if you pay attention to one of the chapters in 451, it actually says on the bottom, which translates quite well and vividly, Enel's Great Space Operations Volume 19, when I was watching the moon exploded. But here's the crazy part. Look at the actual explosion. That is clearly a continental level explosion if it could be visible from the planet Earth. And so, if we follow through with the rest of the chapter, they head towards the moon, to where Eneru, without any surprise, actually one-shots the space pirates who caused that explosion, making Eneru much stronger. But as shown by the feats on screen here, I personally believe due to these scans, Eneru is Continental Plus based on the actual power output. And I don't think this is hyperbole, and you'll find out why. Now, do you guys remember Don Chinjiao, the guy who split the ice continent, who Luffy went equalized in Gear 2nd, as you can see on screen? Yeah, he split a continent of ice so durable, it can't be melted by normal fire, and it's harder than crystal itself. He broke it with a headbutt. Now, I know a lot of you guys may be wondering, didn't Garp have to bust mountains just to overcome him? Yeah, I know, but here's the thing. Islands in One Piece alone are literally equivalent to the size of Australia in some cases, and their scans I'm showing now to prove that. So imagine a mountain in One Piece, like Reverse Mountain, which is much larger than even the width of the Grand Line, where Alabasta sits in. So by that alone, in conjunction with Marco D. Phoenix's statement on there being 20 million islands, and even in real life, these are unofficial sources, but higher end, it could be argued that One Piece's planet is 10 times bigger than our own, or even larger. So One Piece's standards is something you have to keep in mind. So outside of the general standards, let's move over to speed for a bit. Now, we obviously know Kuma is light speed, and we obviously know Zoro can dodge that, even while fatigued. But what about the fact that the supernovas could barely dodge light speed attacks from the Pacifista? Well, here's the thing, speed is weight, and Kizaru asks, have you ever been kicked at the speed of light? So Kizaru's actual combat speed is light speed, to which many characters can keep up with. And One Piece, according to Rayleigh, this is literal light speed, so there's no arguing it. Yet Luffy, time skipped, can say it's too slow. So I honestly believe just off of that alone, Kizaru is not locked to his normal speed of light, which a lot of people for some reason think he is. So you can be light speed and still be made of light. Now let's go into the Doriki. I know a lot of people still disagree with using this as actual scaling for multipliers, but I'm going to do it anyway because, again, it's very clear in the series that basic Doriki is physical ability alone, not including Devil Fruit. Luffy could not beat Blueno in his base, yet Gear 2nd was able to overcome him and later caught up to Rob Lucci, who had a Devil Fruit on top of that. So Gear 2nd should be 10 times base. Going back into Kizaru's statement about speed is weight, this is basically in conjunction to Luffy's power because, again, the more elasticity he has, the faster his attacks are and the heavier they are. So that is literally the best way to scale Luffy, where my power and speed scale to each other. Now, do you guys remember Burn the World and the One Piece special? Yeah! For those who don't remember, his Moa Moa no Mi is actually able to make himself 100 times faster, stronger, and heavier in terms of his attacks, which is impressive. And yeah, I know he's not canon, but Oda did design him, so I'm using him anyway. Now, moving over to Chinjao, I do believe he is a solid multi-continental level fighter, or at least low multi-continental, with hundreds of times the speed of light. The reason I say hundreds of times speed of light is because I do believe Gear 2nd Luffy is at least 10 times his base form as intended for the Doriki scale. Now, what about Sai's awakened form when he was able to have the Drill Dragon Drill Nail and he can now shatter the Ice Continent? Yeah, I know, but the thing is, what people don't realize is Gear 2nd Luffy one-shot this guy. That's right, he got one-shotted by Gear 2nd Luffy, whose attacks later were equivalent to tickling Doflamingo? Are you serious? And keep in mind, Zoro and them struggled against the birdcage, so you can't even say it's an outlier. Clearly, it's made for Doflamingo to be far beyond them. So by that point, I believe Gear 4th Luffy, in conjunction by the time he hits the later ends of the Big Mom saga, oh boy, I'm gonna be honest with you, him and Katakuri should be multi-continental plus. And that's no joke. That's seriously how much stronger Luffy has gotten, and it does make sense. But you factor in the fact that Kaido one-shotted this guy, even after getting stronger. Yet he comes back in base form and can go equal with him! Bruh, Luffy's a Saiyan. But the main thing I'm getting at is Luffy, by the time he's in Gear 5, should be planet level. Now I know that's a big jump and we're going through this pretty fast, but let me explain. The reason I believe Gear 5 Luffy at max is planetary is because Whitebeard could destroy the very world. But that's not just a manga. There's the guidebook that supports it. And there's the actual novel that supports it. So there's 3 sources to support it. And keep in mind, Big Mom wasn't afraid of going up with Whitebeard. And so was Kaido. They're not afraid of him. So it's clear that Yonko, or at least planet level, and planetary in One Piece's standards is not the same as ours, because One Piece's Earth is far larger than ours. Remember that. So Whitebeard could be large planetary while these guys are just planetary. But that's just a theory. Again, okay, we're not gonna go there. But the thing is, I think Luffy in Gear 5 is truly a force to be reckoned with. But what do you guys think? This is my honest take on it, and I haven't really done too many One Piece scaling videos, and I know I ran through this pretty fast, but One Piece is a long series. So if you enjoyed this content, be sure to subscribe, hit the like button, and the bell notification. And just remember guys, One Piece is a long series, so I had to run through this pretty quickly. So I'm not trying to skip over other additional evidence and go over supplementary evidence, but I'm not going to go over 1,000 chapters in just 10 minutes and not at least try to move through it relatively quickly. And a lot of this I've stated before on streams, so you guys should get the picture. If you don't get it by now, then you just won't get it. This has been Atari HMB. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I am signing off. Peace. One Piece.